Check this out, folks. Black workers are seeing the fastest wage growth in more than 15 years. Yeah, in this economy. According to the U.S. Labor Department, they found that weekly earnings rose by nearly 10% for full-time black workers in the third quarter of this year. That's the fastest rate of growth since the year 2000. The increase in earnings since the recession ended in mid-2009 for African-Americans is 15.7%. Latinos are next in line with 15.5%. Whites are a little more than 13%. But the report points out the bulk of the improvement for African-Americans and Latinos has happened in the past 2 years. Despite the wage gains, a large racial pay gap remains. Whites earn about $854 per week, followed by African-Americans at $685 and Latinos at $632. Here to break down this report, William Spriggs, the chief economist for the AFL-CIO and, of course, professor at Howard University. Bill, real simple. When you see these numbers, that's a contrast to what you keep hearing. Oh my God, the economy is so bad, it's so deplorable, and it's just been so awful for African Americans.
Well, a lot of people have been fooled. We called it the Great Recession, but it really was the Great Depression too. By calling it the Great Recession, it sounds like, oh, this was easy to manage, but literally this is the worst one on record because we actually didn't even keep records during the Great Depression. So what we're seeing is we're climbing out of it. We've had record months of straight growth and jobs, and now it's finally showing up in wages. African Americans, unfortunately, because of discrimination, are always sort of the last ones to get in on the party. And so the last 2 years, you're seeing it show in African American wages and Latino wages. And what people have really missed is the share of African Americans who are employed has been going up faster than for whites. For whites, for the last 2 years, the share employed has been about the same, but for African Americans, it's shown marked improvement.
And of course, so you have people who will say that, well, so many people have dropped out of the labor force, so therefore it's so many others who are not even being counted. You hear Trump say that all the time.
Right. Labor force participation rate is down, but we're also an aging economy. And so when you hear labor force participation, that's everyone over 16, everyone over 16. My 95-year-old dad is counted as not in the labor force. So this is included in the numbers, and because we're getting older, the labor force participation rate naturally is falling. A large part of the increase had to do with people being on disability, which actually goes up during downturns. The increase we saw the previous month in labor force participation seems to have been people no longer saying they're disabled. So when you start paying good wages and you start having jobs that people can take, they'll deal with a little backache.
One of the things that I continually said when we talk about this particular economy here is getting people to understand that if you're in a coma and then you're in ICU, that's better than being in a coma. It is as if folks forgot how bad 2008, 2009, 2010 was. And I think that somehow, oh, you're just going to miraculously just wake up and go jogging. That's not how it works.
Well, exactly. And an excellent analogy, because the severity of this downturn. Remember, we were losing 800,000 jobs a month, and the numbers were going up in January of 2009. So this reversal, where you have a record set of straight months of job growth and the fastest wage growth overall of any recovery, it's digging out of a very, very deep problem. So yeah, the patient finally is stabilized.
Sure, Michael, it amazes me when I hear people talk about this economy, again, as if those things did not happen. And people say, oh my goodness, our growth has been so slow. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as the professor alluded, I mean, he's correct. If you're going to go through something which essentially is a depression, I mean, the reason they called it was the Great Recession versus depression was more of a marketing kind of thing, and, yes. And I know that very well working in politics. But, you know, I think, Roland, what you see, and perhaps the professor could better allude to this, we started off in an agrarian stage. We've gone through the industrial stage, which is now coming to an end, and we're leading to this third stage, which some folks are considering the nano stage, all technology. And so you see a lot of people at Trump's rallies, and even folks that supported Senator Sanders, we're talking about, oh, all the jobs, you know, manufacturing have left the economy. That's because the economy is now transitioning to a new phase of things. And if you're not trained for that, then of course you're going to be left behind.
And there are a whole lot of jobs, Bill, that literally do not exist in sectors. Right, banking jobs, I mean, literally don't exist. I mean, media jobs don't exist. People are still alive, but literally whole sectors have shrunk.
Well, sectors have shrunk because of disruptors. So like in communications, we've lost a lot of jobs because of the effect of technology in that sector. But a lot of jobs have been lost to trade. So when you look at manufacturing, it's not that we're demanding fewer manufactured goods, and it's not that we're making fewer of them globally. We're just not making them here.
Okay. Bill Spriggs, we appreciate it. Thanks so very much.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. NewsOne Now with Roland Martin, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.